Marvel Rivals. Is it any good? Today I will be giving my honest review over Marvel's newest game called Marvel Rivals. The game is currently in a beta state and will release sometime within the next year. So with that being said, take every critique I make with a grain of salt, as this game is nowhere even close to near its final state. Marvel Rivals is Marvel's attempt at a 66 hero shooter akin to games such as Overwatch and Paladins. The game will be free to play when it comes out, and the roster will have 23 mostly well-known Marvel characters, although that's subject to change with new characters like Jeff the Shark not being as well known. Many people are calling this game the quote-unquote Overwatch killer due to its similarities. Okay, now that we're done with the overview, I can get into the good, the bad, and the very ugly of the game and how they can potentially fix it. First off, we'll start with the good. The art style is as beautiful as ever compared to other games in this genre such as Valorant or Overwatch. If there's one thing that Marvel does well, it's have amazingly talented artists on their team. The comic-like style brings a breath of fresh air compared to most other hero shooters that usually have a cartoon-inspired look. This immediately made it stand out to me, along with the cast of the game. Of course a Marvel game is going to have an awesome cast due to the all-amazing IP that they have. Any game where I get to play as Spider-Man immediately has an extra point from me, no matter what. Along with the lesser-known characters being cool, such as Jeff the Shark, who was recently added. Another pro of the game would be the smooth UI of both the main menu and the HUD in-game. It's very similar to Overwatch, which is a good thing because they have a good UI as well. Everything meshes well together and gives you enough info without filling your screen up with too much shit. That pretty much concludes all the good I felt in the game, and there's a lot more bad. If I'm being honest, I completely felt a lot more bad than I did good. To begin with, the gameplay itself felt very unintuitive and clunky. With certain characters such as Spider-Man and Venom, the movement abilities felt out of the player's control. Half the time I would try to swing to the payload as Spider-Man, I would end up ramming straight into a wall no matter where I was looking or what direction I tried to move to. The wall climbing / running was almost never useful and usually just interrupted combat near a wall accidentally. The movement on Black Panther quite literally made me smash my keyboard to pieces. It was some of the most clunky controls I've ever felt within any video game ever made. But anyways, moving on from that. Some of the characters were extremely overtuned, either being bullet sponges or doing an excessive amount of damage. The contrast of this was also within the game, as many characters felt utterly useless. An example of an overpowered character is most definitely Venom. Every time I played as him, I had a 50% better chance of winning because I pretty much couldn't die. And the same on the other side, as me and my team could never kill an enemy Venom. And an example of an underpowered character for me would be Rocket Raccoon. Every time I played against him, he was just a little annoyance that I could kill within seconds if I tried. One of the worst aspects of the game to me is team-ups. Team-ups involve multiple characters getting together to form a stronger attack of some sort. The most popular one I saw while playing was the symbiote team-up with Spider-Man, Venom, and Penny Parker. These team-ups, in my opinion, give people too much of an incentive to play in a linear group of characters, lessening the chance for creativity amongst team composition. Why would you play a character you find fun in a competitive mode and lose when you can conform to these team-ups and win the game? For some smaller complaints, some of the characters are very similar to characters from other hero shooters, and I think some better innovation would improve the roster. And holy shit, is there ever a lot of stuff going on at once. Half my games felt like a clusterfuck of whatever bullshit the game wanted to throw at me, with thousands of projectiles and motherfuckers flying around at the speed of light. A lot of these issues have very easy fixes and will most likely be fixed by the time the full game comes out. The issue of clunkiness and fluidity in gameplay can be tweaked by allowing more player input for movement abilities and potentially changing the speed of play for multiple characters. The over-tuning can be fixed by tweaking the health and damage of a lot of the roster. I also believe personally a good fix would be not allowing tanks to headshot, as they do enough damage as is and a 2x multiplier is not needed. The team-ups problem can be fixed by either nerfing the power of them, therefore giving less of an incentive to use them, or by completely removing the feature, which we know will most likely not happen. The team-up should be good enough to be good when a team comp just happens to fit into one, but not be so good that a team comp is specifically built around it. Innovation amongst the roster can be fixed by the team just being more creative, which I can imagine they will be in the future with characters such as Captain America. This game has a lot of potential, and overall, even with all of the bad, I had a good time playing it. This is just the beta, and the game will continue to improve more and more as time goes on. By the time of its release in 2025, I believe it could most definitely be the Overwatch killer that people are currently calling it.